Alright, so good evening everyone. As you know, my name is Ace Keogh, and I have mentioned before that I'm currently a pilot. One of my favorite things about flying airplanes is the lack of traffic in the air. And sometimes we have traffic around the airports trying to get in. But I mean, physically flying the airplane, there's nothing stopping the airplane from continuing to go forward or moving through space. Because if so, the airplane would fall. But today I'd like to rant about driving traffic, because I'm currently driving over 2 hours a day, an hour each way, back and forth to work from Orlando to Daytona, and I got stopped in traffic today. Sometimes I get stopped in traffic, and it can add anywhere from about 15 minutes to an hour to my drive, and after a long day of work, that can just be so frustrating. No one likes traffic, and I wish more people would be interested in how traffic actually works, so that way they may be able to help mitigate it a little bit. Now, first, let me just define what traffic kind of is it's actually a wave if you think about it. If you think of a bunch of cars in order together, right? Like let's say 5 or something, right? They're all moving at the same speed, moving together. And the first one, it stops, right? So it stops here. Well, the second car coming approach, the reaction time, they see that, they start slowing down, they have to stop. Now this car can keep going forward for some reason. They stop for some reason. They keep going forward. The third car sees the second car slowing down, and they slow down, and they slow down, and maybe they get a little slower than the second car got because they were slowing down, and they stop, and then they stop, and then this car has to stop, and now there's 2 cars stopped, and this car's moving, and then the second car starts moving. So, I know that's a little confusing, but it's actually a wave moving back through the cars. The traffic is the wave, and cars are the medium. So, if we think about it like that, when you're sitting in traffic on the highway, right, grid to grid, you're annoyed, everything's just stopping, you're not even moving at all, and you're wondering, why is this happening? Well, the traffic wave is now traveling over you, and when it passes you, that's when you actually start moving forward again and moving faster. And so understanding that concept, you can understand a little bit that when people in traffic, right, the car moves in front of them a little bit, and then they rush to get there and rush to tailgate the person in front of them, they're not actually helping the traffic or getting through it any faster. If anything, they're actually making it worse because they're introducing these little pulses of more traffic within the traffic, and that's what causes those really big gridlocks. If everyone would just give each other a little bit more space in traffic and slowly moved and allow our human reaction times, because in a perfect world, cars, electric cars, AI cars will all communicate with each other to all move at the exact same time together, and then there's no traffic because everyone just moves together at the same time. But humans and our imperfect reaction times will cause us to have to delay and slow. So if everyone can just give each other a little bit more space and maybe just everyone starts moving slower, once the front cars get to the point where they can keep accelerating, it'll travel back, and that wave will travel faster. And that would get us out of traffic. And I also want to bring up a cool point of phantom traffic. Let's say a chicken really far ahead of you on the highway crosses the road and the car stops, and then that car keeps going once the chicken's gone. If the reaction times of the people behind it are slow as well, and it causes that same issue where they all slow down and build up, it can cause these huge gridlocks on the highway. So when you pass the point, when the wave passes you, you'll keep going, and you'll be like, why was there no accident? There's no accident here, but it's really just the traffic. So, in my hope that we all learn a little bit about traffic, so that way it goes faster. My drives at work are a little bit easier, but that may never happen because humans and their reaction times are slow sometimes. Thank you.